Whoa! Who are you? What do you want from me?
What is up, the world of the living? My name is SlackLizard and welcome back to Truly Bedrock. Friends, we're closing in on the spawn island of the server, and yes, I promise you, and today we will be building a little bit of a structure, a more of an administrative thing around here. Today we're gonna build the Truly Bedrock jail, or rather a sort of a prison for the, you know, all the criminals running about, robbing casinos, shops, sheep, that kind of stuff. Now, the prison type that we're aiming for is basically less of a prison, more of a dungeon. And yes, of course, we will want to have some sort of administrative thing to solve it, as at the same time a guard tower with just a prison cell in the dungeon beneath it. But still, this is more of a fortified structure rather than anything else, rather than an administrative thing. So, here are the materials that we're gonna use. We're basically nope, ignore the concrete, ignore the everything. Duck logs is what we're gonna use for the top of it, and the copious amounts of stone, quite a bit of iron, that kind of stuff is what will go into the tower, well, into the structure itself. Iron, of course, for iron bars, iron doors, and that kind of stuff. And the rest, well, for, you know, walls. Those things, you know, that keep people in. And we start this one by saying hi to Prowl. Hi, Prowl. Okay, so as with any good look, we gotta start with the foundation. And yes, I am from now on a makeup tutorial channel. Article 13 does that to people. Regardless, by the foundation I of course mean the basement, which also will couple as a jail, cell, dungeon, that kind of stuff. So this is most important part of the prison, because that really is where we're gonna have the prisoners. And what I want to do with it is, well, instantly go at least 5 blocks deep. Yep, we're gonna surround your plot with a 5-block wall, and where there's not 5 blocks till this to the floor, we're gonna of course dig it all up, because really having your prisoners be underground is just, you know, more reliable as to not having them escape. They're not gonna have to only dislocate all of the bricks that you're leaving them with. They will also have to fight the very earth underneath themselves to struggle to get to freedom. Okay, we're not nearly done here, but just for the authenticity's sake, I want to do something very authentic, in my personal opinion. You see, all of the blocks that are currently dirt and in the wall, I'm gonna replace, obviously, to create the illusion that this structure is way more secure than it actually is. Of course, just a stab with a pickaxe will destroy it happily. But, just for the realism's sake, I'm gonna replace most of the dirt in the wall with not just brick, but mostly cobble brick. Because, obviously, if this connects to the grassy lands, it will obviously be mossed up, because, you know, that's how grass kind of spreads. And no one's gonna be like, oh my god, we're treating our prisoners very wrong, let's clean up the freaking blocks of stone brick in the dungeon so they have better time sleeping on, you know, non-mossy, non-disgusting stuff. Who cares about that kind of things? Now, of course, if you want to differentiate, cry out loud, Zoe, use your English. Then, of course, we will want to add some larger type brick using andesite, and particularly polished kind. It really does add quite a bit of variety and create an illusion that there was some cornerstones used in the building of this thing. I mean, obviously there weren't, but let's pretend, I guess. And now that we have most of our moss installed, get ready, because I had some cracked in the furnace, it turns out. So let's just add some damage. And I know, this is kind of just me texturizing, but let's put some thought into this. Which bricks do you think would crack faster? The ones on the top, where the sun dries them and allows them to basically be healthy, nice bricks, or the ones here at the bottom that are constantly being harassed by water that comes down with the rain? Yeah, this dungeon is probably being submerged every single winter, well, every single spring when the rains fall. So let's not pretend that it's that well established or that well kept. In fact, you know what? Right around here, I'm gonna do myself a bit of a funny, and we'll add some stone here, like this. Drop some cracked here and there, and in the center, we'll just go ahead and drop some gravel. Yep, I know, why would it be there? But then you think, gravel really is just cobblestone crushed into tinier pieces. So yeah, let's just have it there. It's not like people have shovels down here, right? Right? Well, if they do, it wouldn't be much of a hassle for me personally, because down there, yeah, that's FoxyNoTail's house. I don't really care if somebody from prison escapes into FoxyNoTail's house. Textures all done and ready. Now I guess it's time for the layout. And really, thanks to the shape of this plot, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks here, and then the rest of them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7. Yeah, this gotta be 6 inside. It's kind of easy, really. You just gotta maybe take one step here, get a line, and then this little area is gonna just be a stairway up back to the freedom, you know, for the gods and whatnot. And the rest of the area, I don't know, might use up for the torture chambers, something like that. Really, in this situation, this kind of medievalish prison type of deal, you usually would have prisoners mining for you or doing like some work for you. We're not that kind of people though. We're here basically trying to build a very piratey type of thing. So these jail cells, yeah, these people are gonna die. If you're in here, you're either going away because you have a hangover and did too much hooliganship the evening before, or you probably gonna die. Or escape, that also is an alternative. So with the general layout something like this, I really did do a tiny mistake, and I hope you forgive me. I should have calculated and made this wall 1 block into that way, so I get to make the wall only 1 block thick. With this current layout, I will actually have to eat up quite some detailing from the floor with a double thick wall, but then again, double thick walls fit prisons. They just do. It's fine. It's all fine. It's gonna work out, trust me. Now, what's also is interesting, and what's actually works really to my advantage, is that we will have to grab this. Now, as far as the cells themselves are concerned, we also will have to do a bit of like not the best decorational stuff. You see, the iron bars, they don't necessarily go into these little gaps on top of the thing. So we will have to kind of compromise here and leave this tiny gap open, which still works because we might pretend that we're constantly throwing food at the prisoners through them or something like that. Just to not have to open the large thing. Actually, we could potentially even make this entire thing out of iron trapdoors and like open the lower ones and shove the food underneath it. We will not do that yet, and we will not do that here though, because, I mean, really, why would we? It's tiny bit not a big deal, and we already have a working system, so why fix it if it ain't broke, right? Right. Speaking of broke, once again, need to add some cracked bricks. These little things, these support little pillars, they, just by definition, they're support pillars, so they will get cracked eventually because they're holding the rest of the building on top of them. As for the cells themselves, yeah, could use some decorative pillows. We ain't gonna give it to them, but could use some. First, let's install the toilets, because of course we install the toilets. The crapiers need to be stoneware after all. Can I? Yes, I can put it, take it out. And of course the benches, which we are probably, yeah, we should probably go with double bench design, simply because the cell is way too big to only house 1 prisoner, and also we only have 2 of the cells. So of course the crapier will be only 1, and the benches for the sitting and the, you know, sleeping on will have to be double-sided. Oh well, yes, I know, privacy is not necessarily a thing in these particular conditions. But don't worry, we are gonna give them a glimmer of hope after all. There you go, little iron bars. Right under the ceiling, where they can't really reach them. And now to install the doors, and boop! Yeah, really shouldn't have done that. Boy, would I hate to actually get stuck in here like this. And do you guys ever get like an idea that you know is terrible and you shouldn't do it, but you do it anyway? Yeah. I should not be allowed to play this game. Okay, this is nice. Cute, even. That's actually one of the problems because of how tiny this entire thing is. But really though, we don't have that many members, so we don't have that many people to jail. I mean, seriously, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's half the whitelist, essentially. I think we can manage. And really, yeah, I like this. My one problem with it is that there is a bit not enough contrast between the floor and the walls because they're made out of the same material, but at the same time using gray, the dark gray concrete or dark gray terracotta here would kind of ruin the illusion, I feel. I don't know, it would be a tiny bit too clean of a texture to implement, and also, yeah, that I really don't feel like ruining the texture that I already implemented on the floor. Okay. On the side of the vanilla, I also was building a jail cell block, and there I actually added some legitimate torture devices. Here I don't feel like doing that because on the side of the vanilla we have custom heads. I would want to trap at the very least one monster though in here. So come night, I will be definitely grabbing a skeleton and dropping him somewhere in here. We'll see about that. But that is not the end of this entire endeavor, believe it or not. No, actual jail is just, you know, a part. Now to figure out the god system, not a system, but you know, the god part of the god building, not a god tower, because I don't want to make it into a tower. What else does a build like that need? Well, for one, this is basically a police station, but you know, a medieval type one. So we will need some sort of armory, which I want to place right there. Some sort of an office, which I want to place right there. And you know what? No. Here's how we're gonna do it. This here is gonna be the entrance. We're gonna have some sort of a stairway down here. Well, not a grand entrance, but an entrance of sorts into here. Then this will be the armory. This will be the, like, here we'll have an entrance into the more of a, you know, jail block and the little, you know, area for the gods to rest in. And then for a second story, I don't know, we'll come up with something, I suppose. Some sort of a sheriff office or some crap like that. I mean, really, why wouldn't we have a sheriff here on a, you know, temporary pirate-y shantytown type of deal? This build makes all sorts of sense. As far as the facade is concerned, I think I have a very good vibe for what I'm trying to go for. With the logs overarching over the actual entrance, and more of a stone type utilizing the stone brick walls for the windows. A problem arises when we get to the sides of the build. Because really, the negative space between these two builds and, you know, the rest of the island is way too small for me to have any sort of extensions to anywhere, really. And at the same time, this side and this side of the building don't matter anyway, because no one's gonna see them as much. At the very least, not the first floor. At the same time, here, on this side, you're kinda still gonna see it through the foliage, and that's gonna be a problem, right? I mean, come on, if it's just a box with no relief, that will not look good. So I need to come up with some sort of a way to have some indentations into the wall. And I'm guessing I'll just go for the same feel I got on here for the fortification tiny windows. You know, the ones that you usually have archers poking out of. Except we'll add, you know, the iron bars, and that should do the trick. It didn't do the trick. Yeah, even with all the stuff, even with the more or less impressive basement and the bars on the stuff and all that kind of things, nope. This building looks incredibly civilian. That's a bit of a problem. If I wanted this to be really like more of a god, like office of some sort, you know, a medieval policeman sheriff thing, I would need to add something that would make it more recognizable. One thing I was pondering actually was a shooting range. Yeah, just placing some armor stands here and there, just practicing their crossbow shots at hay bale mannequins, you know, that kind of stuff that is usually nearby the illager outposts in the future village and pillage update. But the illagers aren't in the game yet, and there's nowhere to actually put that shooting range. You wouldn't want to practice killing hay bales when you can accidentally shoot 2 centimeters to the left and kill somebody from the civilians. That would be just not good, would it? Oh well, point is, I got the first story ready, including the clerk at the entrance who's like, "Hello, 911, 911, what's your emergency? Go away." And I did the armory, even though you still have to have very important and very hard to pick combination lock on it. You know, a button. We have some spare diamond armor, this empty chest, and I wanted to have some crossbows on the, you know, the armor stands, holding them. Maybe actually a training range for, you know, fighting and practicing your swords and shields fighting, you know, the melee attacks, could be implemented up here, because I genuinely have no idea what to do with this area, including the ceiling. Yes, thank you for asking. I could probably use one around here. Okay, let's go quickly take a quick look at what this looks like from different point of view. And here, yep, and here, ow. And I feel this is nice. This is really good. Something that is still missing from here is usually in a prison, in a long time prison, not in a jail like this, you would have an area for the prisoners to kind of have a stroll around to still keep them physically in shape. That ain't gonna happen. And also at the same time, I'm not gonna have, it seems, I'm not gonna have a plague, like the place where you chop the prisoners' heads off and, you know, execute them. There's just not enough space. I can really only see myself installing one around here, but even then it would be like incredibly small, and highly doubt that it would be enough space for us to have all the hangman games we would usually want. Also, it's like incredibly convenient. I mean, right underneath the freaking windows of the okay, not a police department, but you get my point. Although I don't know. I really want a little diorama showcasing somebody being executed for some reason. I might have a bit of a bloodlust. And because I'm a terrible person, I decided to still follow through with this stupid diorama. Look at them. Look at them idiots. They're basically trying to execute someone, and the Axeman is like, chop chop, I got your head. And then because this is a zombie, he's not really affected by not having head. So we have a very confused executioner with like looking at his axe like, what? And a very confused zombie with his head removed and utterly trying to figure out where it went, which always is amusing. They're gonna get struck by lightning and removed eventually. I should probably place a lightning shield somewhere in the sky on the top of the world build limit. But whatever. I mean, honestly, at this point, we just owe a lightning shield over the entirety of the spawn island. I mean, that will make the channeling tridents moderately less impressive, but whatever, who cares. But finally, I think this here is the result. Now, I did go for a more visually kind of boring, more grayish style and replaced all of the white concrete with regular old smooth stone. Thing is about it, it just fits the entire militaristic idea better. I feel like this could pass off as a god, you know, building, god tower to a degree, much better. And also I swapped the roof from a mildly curved one to a just flat one, very Mediterranean style, and I'm happy with it. I genuinely am. This looks better, and it fits better what we're trying to do here. So, the executioner duo is still here. They're still executing. The guy in front is also still not wearing pants, but very much helpful in assisting you with your emergency. And he has a little, you know, sword sigil in front of him, so that's points, I guess. There's an armory. There's a couple of other guards kind of training together. This guy is shooting on a crossbow at the hay bale here. These guys are practicing fighting, which will definitely go great for everybody involved here. Someone's gonna get a crossbow bolt to the back of their heads if they continue standing in, you know, in the range of the line of shooting. Idiots. And of course, the jail would not be complete without a prisoner. Check him out. This is okay, I like to call him Larry the Drunked, because, you know, he's a drowned, and yeah, he's in here because he, yeah, kind of had a bit of a night out and is currently recovering from it. Yep. This is what you get for, I don't know, climbing the statue of the trident. Climbing the statue that I built last time and build it in a way that looked like he was giving everybody a middle finger. Yep, definitely your fault and not mine. But look at this! We got a jail now! And a prison! Well, more like a jail and a little police kind of military department, whatever. We got people who will kind of look around. Also, those people are armor stands, but let's not really hang on that. That is okay. They are, some people are armor stands. That's just fact. You can't do anything about it. Hope you enjoyed this. I attempted to make this video a tiny bit more let's buildy, and really, I usually, you may notice, do a lot off camera. I don't usually record builds as I actually assemble them and build them. So this video I specifically attempted to give you my thought process, and we'll see. Honestly, I feel it came out good, like, you know, medium alright to good, and I'll really will have to know your opinion in the comments. So do let me know that particular opinion. Once again, the builds on top of the hill here are looking out great. I just kinda am regretful about how not really tall this particular build is. Well, hopefully somebody will build something even taller just to kinda overhang and look nice from outside of the island. But that won't probably be me, because I think that the new found law enforcement might actually jail me for all the crimes against humanity I did. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. To be continued. Have a good one. Bye bye. This has been ZloXP. I forgot how my outro goes. Again.
Who are you? What do you want? I mean, I know who you are. I'll just go with it though, I guess.
I hear you know how to break into Foxy's bank.